Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritam Naram Chaivo Narottama Deving Saraswating Vyasam Tato Jayo Mudiraye Nashtoprayeshu Abhadreshu Nittam Bhagavato Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nandana Gopalaya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Today we are starting the episode number 20, where we are discussing how the narration of Mahabharat happened in the snake sacrifice episode of Janmejaya. We will try to talk about Janmejaya's history, about his father Parikshit Maharaj, also how that snake sacrifice was performed and what was the result of that, and how Mahabharat came into existence. Mahabharat was written by Yaduvasha, and actually it was written by Ganeshji as dictated by Yaduvasha, but the Mahabharat was made public in the Janmejaya snake sacrifice episode, where it was available for everyone to understand. So please be with me in this episode, and we will try to complete in this one episode, and then start the other stories from the next one. Hare Krishna. King Janmejaya was son of the great King Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj was actually grandson of the third Pandava, Arjuna. Arjuna's son Abhimanyu, at barely 16 or 17 years of his age, had a fight with 7 Maharathis in Kurukshetra Yuddha fight, and in that battlefield he lost his life. And his son Parikshit Maharaj was in the womb of his mother Uttara. During that time, at the end of Mahabharat, Ashwatthama targeted Parikshit Maharaj and sent Brahmastra to kill him. By grace of Lord Shri Krishna, who himself went inside the womb and saved Parikshit Maharaj for his death. So Parikshit Maharaj was a pure devotee. When he took birth, he actually was searching for Lord Krishna, because by the time he took birth and he grew up, Lord Krishna left this material world. So he was searching for Lord Krishna, but Lord Krishna he could not find. And when Pandavas, at the end of their period of kingdom, when they felt that now this time is up for them to leave this material world, they made Parikshit Maharaj the emperor of the entire universe, and then they handed over the kingdom and went away. Parikshit Maharaj was a very able king, and he did several Ashwamedh Yagga, and he defeated all kings all over the world, and he became the Chakravarti Samrat. Now, one day, while Parikshit Maharaj was actually taking a round in his kingdom, he saw a bull and a cow. The bull and the cow were very surprisingly, the bull was having the 3 leg injured, and the cow also was badly injured. Parikshit Maharaj was very anxious, because in his kingdom nobody dares to kill or harm any bull and cow. He saw that a very dangerous looking person was beating that bull and cow with his sword. Parikshit Maharaj became so angry, he actually wanted to punish that person, and he took out his sword and he chased upon him. Then the person stood against him and he said that he is none other than Kali. Kali Yuga has time to come, and because Kali Yuga has time to come, there is no option but he had to do harm to the bull. He also said that he is unable to come to material world just because of Parikshit Maharaj, and he is waiting for his demise when he will stay here. Parikshit Maharaj did not agree to his proposal and he wanted to banish Kali. So Kali said he cannot be banished, but he wants a few area where he can stay. So Parikshit Maharaj identified a few areas where Kali can stay, and out of those areas, one area was gold. Wherever there is a mass of lot of gold illegally or illogically kept, that there Kali can stay. Parikshit Maharaj permitted him to stay in brothel. Wherever there is prostitution and illicit sex happens, Kali was allowed to stay. Parikshit Maharaj allowed him to stay in the bar. In Sanskrit we call the, or in Hindi we call sharab khana. In the bar, wherever people are drinking or people are smoking, they are doing those kind of activity. Parikshit Maharaj allowed Kali to stay there. And the fourth area where Parikshit Maharaj allowed him to stay, wherever people are gambling or people are telling lies, Kali was allowed to stay. So Kali was staying only those four areas during the life of Parikshit Maharaj. So like that, Kali first introduced in material world, and then Parikshit Maharaj allowed him to stay only those four areas. However, later on it was found that the bull and cow was not any ordinary bull and cow. The bull was the Dharamraj himself and the cow was Bhudevi or Bhumi Devi, the Prithvi herself. So Parikshit Maharaj realized it was a test for him, and he has then decided that he will be more cautious so that Kali cannot come other than those four places during his lifetime. One day, Parikshit Maharaj entered a forest and came across a sage. His name was Shamik Rishi. He was very deep in meditation. Parikshit Maharaj was very thirsty and hungry at that time because he was hunting for quite some time. Being so thirsty in need of water, Parikshit Maharaj requested water from the sage. However, the sage was so absorbed in meditation, he did not respond. Parikshit Maharaj felt very insulted, and he picked up a dead snake and wrapped it around Shamik Rishi's neck. Unaware of the grave consequence of his impolite action. But after moving out from there, he immediately understood that he has done a mistake and he should have not done it. But then it was too late, because by that time Shamik Rishi's son Sringi, he came to know that one dead snake has been put in the neck of his father by Parikshit Maharaj, and he immediately gave a curse to Parikshit Maharaj that he will die within 7 days from the snake bite. Now, Parikshit Maharaj was the most righteous king and he was loved by everyone. When Shamik Rishi came out of the meditation and he heard from Sringi, he became very repentant. He said that this cannot happen. This was a very minute thing which otherwise could have overlooked. For that Sringi should not have given this kind of curse. But Sringi was a Brahma Rishi, and his curse or Shamik Rishi's curse could not be reverted. So it was told to Parikshit Maharaj that by Rishi only that his son has done this, and therefore Parikshit Maharaj decided that this is his destiny, and he did not take it in the negative way, and he went into the river of Ganges and he started preparing for the next life, and so that's how the Srimad Bhagavatam came up. But I will tell you before that an interesting story of Takshak. Who is Takshak? Takshak is a very powerful king. In the episode 2 and episode 3 of these lesser known stories of Mahabharat, I have dealt a very detail in Snake Dynasty. And when I have dealt in Snake Dynasty, I have told of the queen Kadru. Kadru had 1,000 children and all of them were snakes. Out of that, one of the very powerful child was Takshak. Now there is a history of Takshak also. Why Takshak was so angry with the Pandavas. When Pandavas built the Khandaprastha as their kingdom, they actually had to burn the Khandava forest. Arjuna and Lord Krishna together burned the forest using their arrow. In that forest, Takshak with his family was staying. Takshak somehow saved himself and he got rid of that place. And he came and he wanted to take revenge. So they were very powerful, so he did lot of austerity. And Nagaraj Basuki said that Arjuna and Krishna are none other than Nara and Narayan. So as long as Arjuna is with Krishna or Krishna with Arjuna, he cannot do anything to them, and Krishna is anyway Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Takshak was very revengeful and he chose to take the revenge after Krishna's demise, and by that time Arjuna's grandson Parikshit was in place. So when this snake bite curse was given, it was Parikshit, it was Takshak who decided to fulfill this curse. We see in the next part when upon hearing of the curse, Parikshit Maharaj was faced with the reality of his imminent death. He withdrew from the world and chose to spend his remaining 7 days seeking spiritual enlightenment. He sought solace in the divine teachings of Srimad Bhagavatam, narrated to him by Srila Shukdev Goswami, the son of Vedavyas, who guided his soul towards liberation. And during this journey of 7 days, not only Parikshit Maharaj alone, all rishis, Gandharvas, Devatas, they all came from all the places, and Srimad Bhagavatam, which was composed by Vedavyas and which is about the activity of Lord Supreme Personality of Godhead, that Srimad Bhagavatam Puran was narrated in that place. So the curse became a boon, and by which Srimad Bhagavatam, the Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam was generated. But what we need to understand, that so much of positivity was there was no sign of any snake coming or any death coming even by the afternoon of the 7th day. So on that day Takshak came. When Takshak was approaching that place, then one Brahmin, his name was also Kashyap, he said, you cannot go there because he is a very divine king, you have no right to kill him. But Takshak said, it is already destined. Then the Brahman said, even if you bite him, I will revive him again. So Takshak said, I want a proof. Then the Brahman asked him to bite the tree nearby. Takshak bitten the tree and the tree completely got died. And the Brahman again put it back in life by his mantra. Then Takshak said, oh priest, please do not do this, because the Parikshit Maharaj is destined to die and I am the cause of his death. So the Brahman told, I will walk away, but your work will call for a very great bad fortune to your entire community. And that is how we will know how Janmejaya Sarpajagga happened actually. However, when the Brahman also told, you cannot go there as a snake because there are so many devatas, so many rishis are there, a snake coming there will not be welcomed. So Takshak came as a sage, and when he came as a sage, he offered a basket of fruit to Parikshit Maharaj. Parikshit Maharaj anyway was not eating anything, But when he saw the basket of fruit, he immediately understood that in one of the fruit there was a small worm was there. And he said, "Let the worm be the snake Takshak and bite me, and the curse become true." And as soon as he told so, Takshak manifested through that worm and came in his own form, and he beat Parikshit Maharaj. So thus a great life of Parikshit Maharaj got ended. And we also know Srimad Bhagavatam got. Before moving forward to the story of Janmejaya and the snake sacrifice, it is important for us to know about the story of Rishi Uttanka. Rishi Uttanka's entire life and his achievement was documented in early stages of Adi Parva, and I have prepared a video whose link I will give in the description. In that third chapter, third episode of the same series, if you go, Rishi Uttanka, I explain there. And you will see that in the last part of that series, Rishi Uttanka was disturbed by Takshak again there. And because he was disturbed by Takshak, he was very revengeful, and he wanted to make Takshak end of his life. So when Rishi Uttanka came to know that Janmejaya is planning for a Sarpajagga, and his target is to kill Takshak, who was the person who actually beat his father Parikshit Maharaj, he voluntarily came at that place, and he chose to become the main rishi or main priest of that yagga. Because to make that yagga successful, that yagga is needed to be done by a very powerful rishi as well. And Rishi Uttanka was one of the most powerful rishi at that point of time. So I would request you to go through that video to know about Rishi Uttanka. Let us move to the next story of Janmejaya. Before going to Janmejaya's story, we may also like to touch upon Vedavvyas. Actually, in the first episode of Adi Parva, I spoke of Vedavvyas. Vedavvyas was a great sage who was the son of Satyavati and who actually written down the Mahabharat. He not only wrote Mahabharat, he documented the 4 Vedas, documented the Upanishad, Puranas and everything. Now Vedavvyas, what we need to understand, when he wrote Mahabharat, he did not write personally. It was written by Ganeshji. But there was a condition. Ganeshji told, once he start writing, he will not stop. And Vedavvyas said, as soon as you have to write something, you have to understand that. And thus the great epic was written actually. Now why Vedavvyas is important? Because while talking about Janmejaya, we will see that Vedavvyas had to come twice to Janmejaya to make him come. He was also a guru of Janmejaya, and he had come there for twice. So therefore we will see how Vedavvyas is related to that. Also, we also need to know about Rishi Krishna Vaishampayan. Krishna Vaishampayan was actually the disciple of Vedavvyas, and the person, he was the priest, he was the sage who actually retold the Mahabharat story to Janmejaya when he had his very disturbed mental condition. So Rishi Vaishampayan is also important. So we shall see his episode also, his story also in the Janmejaya story. Like his ancestors, King Janmejaya was also a very illustrious career. He was enthroned at a very early age of life, because on sudden demise of Parikshit Maharaj handed over his kingdom to King Janmejaya when he was a mere child. But he was ruling the country well, and as he grew up, he used to hear stories of his father and his grandfather. Now, in one of the session, during the storytelling session, one of his minister talked about how Parikshit Maharaj courted death because of the snake bite from Takshak.
And he also said the whole story of how Takshak was revengeful in taking revenge in the Pandava dynasty, and he took the revenge from his father. Now this information flared Janmejaya with lot of anger, and he felt that it is his duty to take revenge of the person who has killed his father, and therefore he was seeking opinion of many sages that what should be the best way that he can kill Takshak. Takshak used to stay in Naglok. It was difficult for Janmejaya to visit Naglok and kill him, because we need to remember Janmejaya was a king in Kali Yuga. By that time, Satya, Treta, Dapur has already concluded. And in Kali Yuga, the human being do not have the capacity to visit different lokas as they could do during Satya Yuga or to some extent in Treta Yuga. So the only option he had to do a fire sacrifice or yagga. Through that yagga, he could access other loka, devatas, gandharvas, and others. So his counselors or the ministers, they told him that if he does a snake sacrifice yagga or snake sacrifice service, then probably Takshak can be brought in along with other snakes. And therefore Janmejaya took a vow that he will kill the entire snake dynasty. And thus this becomes the truth of what Kashyap Muni told to Kadru at one point of time when her 1,000 snakes took birth. He said, Kashyap Muni said, and it is mentioned in my snake dynasty episode also, that because of Takshak, her entire dynasty of her sons will get destroyed. Then Kadru said, kindly give me a boon that somebody can save them. And therefore the Astik Muni took birth. Astik Muni was also son of Kadru, and Astik Muni took birth. And we will hear that story in this episode, how Astik saved them. Now Janmejaya, when he decided, he was looking for a able priest who can do this yagga. And the only option came to at that point was Utanka. I have already told Utanka's story, and in Utanka was destined to do this yagga, and he was very learned and very passionate about doing the fire sacrifice. So Utanka came, and the yagga started. This was not a ordinary yagga. In this yagga, there are a lot of foods, ghee, butter, and all other items were applied, and tons and tons of material was put together, and there were as many as 1,000 brahmanas and priests. They started doing the yagga. And in those days, the mantra or the hymn was so powerful that they were capable of calling or getting successful whatever they could do. And when the Shaunok rishis also joined along with the great sages like Markanda, Narad Muni, Vyasdev, Deval, then the whole environment became completely divine. So when they started telling the mantra and the fire blew, the fire was as high as a mountain. And on that fire, when the mantra was being told, from all the places, whatever snakes were there, they were coming and falling on the snake. And at one time, there was some kind of chaos in all three lokas, because everywhere all snakes were coming continuously. The sounds were as loud as the sea roars, ocean roars, and also the entire sky, entire air was filled up with the smoke and the smell of the snake burning. Now it was looking as if that there is some kind of pralaya has come. It was looking as if even the snakes which are under the sea, they were also caught from the under the sea and brought into the yagga. Some of the slow snakes who were as big as horses
or as big as camel, as big as elephant, they are also coming and falling there. Some snakes were black color, some were yellow color, some were white color, and wherever they are coming and falling in the snake. Some of the snakes were having almost 1,000 or 500 heads also. Even they are also coming there. Now, at that situation, Takshak felt that there is no option for him because the mantra is so powerful, even he also has to come. So, what he did, he went and actually took shelter of Devraj Indra, and Devraj Indra's throne, he was wrapping up Devraj Indra's throne, and he was taking there in the fear of his life. Devraj Indra actually gave him shelter, and he said, "No, no, no, nothing to worry. I will save you because this mantra cannot do anything to me and my throne." But to his utter surprise, the mantra was so powerful that even the Devraj Indra's throne and Devraj Indra was also brought into the near the fire, and he was trying his best not to come protect his throne. Then Snake's mother Kadru was again and again fainting. Looking that condition, Nagraj Basuki, he requested Astik Muni that you must come into picture now and save the snake dynasty, and that is the reason Astik has taken birth. So what happened after that? Astik Muni, he was then, because he was called by Nagraj Basuki, he said that yes, I will do my duty and I will save my brothers and sisters. So Astik Muni, he was a great sage. Not only he was knowledgeable, he had lot of piety, lot of pious work he had done, and even the devatas also had lot of respect for him. Astik Muni then slowly came to that place. Initially, when Astik was coming, Utanka came to know that Astik has started coming. So he was starting to telling mantra in very high speed because he knew that if Astik comes, this cannot conclude. And in the last straw, Devraj Indra was almost coming inside the fire along with Takshak. Then by the time Astik appeared, and Astik asked them, when Astik appeared, the king said, "O the great sage, why you have come? You have no business here. This is for the snakes, and you are not the snake, you are a Brahmin." Astik said, "I am also son of Kodru. These snakes are my brothers, so your mantra has caused me also to come here." And when he told this, king came, king stopped, woke up from his seat, and he went and greeted Astik Muni. Astik Muni said, I have come to your yagga. Give me my alms, give me my bhiksha." So he said, "What bhiksha you want?" He said, "My bhiksha is you must stop this yagga." He said, "No, this cannot happen. I am taking revenge." Astik Muni said, "What revenge you are taking? Everybody is destined to die at certain point of time. Nobody is going to stay all throughout his life, throughout his stay in this material world. And your father had a very illustrious life. He was not only a great king, he died, and during his time, Srimad Bhagavatam was taken birth. And also, your father has gone to Vaikuntha Lok directly. What is your fear that you are doing the revenge and you are doing lot of sin on your part by doing this?" By the time the Vedabhas appeared in the spot, looking at the Vedabhas, the king Janmejaya completely did Dandavat Pranam on the ground, and he greeted Vedabhas and he said that, "Please tell me how I can serve you." Vedabhas said, "What Astik is telling is absolutely right. It is not relevant for you how your father died. It is relevant for you where he has gone after death. And therefore, you should stop the yagga and save the remaining snakes." Of course, he had no other option. because Vedabhas, Astik Muni, and all other sages were of very high stature, and therefore Utanka had to stop the sex sacrifice. Utanka also had a change of heart. When he heard all these stories, his revenge towards Takshak also went away, and Takshak was saved. Not only Takshak, other snakes were also saved. But then suddenly he said, the Janmejaya said that I am very very sorry and my mind is not happy what I have done. How can I get my mind very calm and quiet composed again? The all other priests they said, you must do again Ashwamedh Yagga. Vyasdev said, no, you should not do Ashwamedh Yagga. Ashwamedh was recommended during Satyajug, Tretayug, Dwapar It is not recommended in Kali Yug. You should not do. But Janmejaya did not hear about what Vyasdev said. And he went ahead and then did Ashwamedh. With his great power, he defeated all soldiers, all kings of the whole world, and the horse came back undefeated, unconquered. But when the horse came back, then Janmejaya, when he offered that horse head to the fire, by that time the Kali has taken over completely. And because Ashwamedh was not supposed to be done in Kali Yuga, the horse's head did not go into the fire. Instead, it started dancing in the air. And it was a very bad omen. And looking at that, every sages, every priest ran away from there. That's such a bad omen. So this king is doomed. We should not associate with this king at all. Then Vyasdev reappeared. And when Vyasdev reappeared, Vyasdev said, I told you not to do. Why you have done that? Then the king said, Sage, how can I compose my mind? What kind of sacrifice I should do that whatever sin I have done that can be removed? And then Vyasdev said, the only thing what you can do, you can hear about Lord Krishna. And you do not hear about Lord Krishna alone. You hear about your ancestors. They were great kings, and for that purpose you need to hear about Mahabharat. And that was the reason when Vyasdev commissioned Krishna Dwaipayan. He was also a student of Vyasdev, and he memorized the entire Mahabharat. So Krishna Dwaipayan sat in front of that particular pyre of the fires, and he started talking about the Mahabharat from first to last. And that is how the epic which was written by Vyasdev was brought to the public domain, and everybody came to know about Mahabharat. Mahabharat story is told in our Sanskrit. Whatever is there in Mahabharat, it is eternal. Whatever problem we are facing today, all problems can be solved by following the principles of Mahabharat. Mahabharat talks of the Sanatan Dharma, Varnashram Dharma. Mahabharat talks of the passion, it talks of the devatas, it talks of the worship, it talks of the revenge. And in Mahabharat, all the heroes and the anti-heroes, because in Mahabharat we do not tell anyone villain, we call them anti-heroes. Both the heroes and anti-heroes were none but came along with Lord Krishna for a purpose. The purpose was to tell everyone about Bhagavad Gita. So, before going ahead in the stories of Mahabharat, Janmejaya episode is very important, and therefore I quickly wanted to touch base upon that. If you really like this, please continue to seeing this video, and if you feel that you want to connect with us, please connect with me through email or phone. Both the details are available in description. And also, if you want some more improvement to be done, kindly mention to me in person or in comment. If you like this, we will make more videos on this. And if you have missed these videos, other videos, you go to the playlist where all other video links are also given. Hare Krishna.